This is Derek Palmer. He's one of the leaders of the Amazon Labor Union, which is, again, the workers group, the group of workers that are trying to form a union. I first wanted to ask you, I know you guys are out here for a lot of reasons today, but first, this tornado that killed 6 in Illinois, and a text message came out, one of the workers who tragically died texted his girlfriend or wife saying, they won't let me leave. You guys were made to work through Hurricane Ida, so you're not, this is not a surprise to you, I guess. But what's your reaction? I mean, they had a lot of warning that tornadoes were coming, and the workers were made to work, and according to him, he couldn't leave.
Yeah, you know, it's just unfortunate because that isn't the first time you hear of an incident like that. As far as workers having to come in during harsh weather, you know, it's been happening since 2015. You know, every year that I can remember that it was a snowstorm or a hurricane, we still had to come in and work if it was our assigned day. So, you know, the fact that this time it took multiple workers' lives, it just shows how greedy this corporation is. You know, they'll do anything they can to get a dollar bill, even if it involves sacrificing their own workers' lives. And it's just really sad to see. And it just really makes us motivated more, you know, as ALU to continue our fight and make sure that we win this union, because, you know, the fact that they have this cell phone policy, this no cell phone policy, really, it irks me, because a situation like that of a tornado, this poor worker just reaching out to his wife, just telling them, you know, Amazon won't let me leave. And it's like almost like a cry for help. And there was no alternative for him. You know, and it's just so sad, you know.
You see the company, including the CEO, he posted on Twitter, like, yeah, you know, we're looking into what happened and blah, 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 blah. Almost like they're surprised by this, but they know it. I mean, this is their policy throughout the country. They also have been trying to re-implement a phone ban that they loosened. You know, they before the pandemic didn't let workers have their phones on the warehouse floor. Then during the pandemic, they loosened that because, you know, you guys need to know what's going on with the pandemic. But now it seems like they've been trying to re-implement it. That's a problem with tornadoes, hurricanes, just anything. Like, there's a new COVID variant. You know, obviously workers might want to look at updates. Can you kind of talk about the company is now basically trying to re-implement a phone ban, which in the case of tornadoes and other things is not wise?
Yeah, you know, it's just so sad. You know, they make it seem like to the public that they really care about us, you know, by trying to get rid of these policies, or temporarily for the phone, to make it seem like they care about us. But they're slowly creeping back because they must be losing money, or, you know, they're just getting tired of doing the right thing. That's what it seems like to me, because every time they do the right thing, it's always like just to cover up their image and make it seem like they really care for us and they're here for the frontline workers, when that's clearly not the case here. So it just makes it, like I said before, it motivates us even more to continue what we got to do, because having a union at this building, JFK 8, and, you know, just Staten Island period, will be so strong, and I know it's gonna resonate throughout the entire nation.
Can you kind of talk about, because it seems to me Amazon's been kind of cheating the system. You guys have been going since April. You dropped off to the National Labor Relations Board over 2,000 signatures last month. But unfortunately, a lot of those signatures, Amazon fired those workers because turnover is so high here. So it's like this hamster wheel where you keep getting workers to sign yes to the union, that through the union cards that you have to drop off to the NLRB. But Amazon's firing so many workers that technically they don't count.
It sucks, you know, because all this hard work that we're doing, you know, it seems like, you know, we're definitely getting a lot of recognition from the public, but it seems, you know, it just sucks, you know. It's like you're moving 4 steps forward just to head backwards, and you know, it's really unfortunate the way Amazon is designed. We all know that it's designed this way, purposely to prevent unions, but, you know, we just got to keep pushing. You know, our group is full of strong-willed people, and we're going to continue to push no matter what. You know, I think it's important.
I want to ask about the media, too, because the media always seems to bend over backwards to even a New York Times piece that talked about some of the issues here during the pandemic really tried to give Amazon the benefit of the doubt, I thought. But like, at what point does the media say, Jesus Christ, they have the warehouse open during a tornado? I reported last week that they fired one of your organizers while he was organizing, which is illegal as far as I know. I mean, it just seems like this is kind of like, you know, Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. Like, at what point does the media stop basically pacifying and slobbering over Amazon? Because let's face it, Amazon is a sponsor of a lot of these media organizations. But you would think it would be a scandal in America when a major corporation like Amazon stays open with days of tornado warnings. But the stories have basically just been, hey, here's what happened, 6 workers died, move on.
Yeah, you know, it sucks. You know, I spoke to, you know, a few media outlets, and they were saying that, you know, when tornadoes form, it's very rapid, and it's not enough time to really prepare for it. But you know, I think otherwise. You know, like you said, they had days prior notice to the tornado coming. So you know, it just sucks. You know, when it comes to Amazon, it seems like everyone wants to play it safe, including the media as well. You know, there's only a few that don't really. That aren't afraid to speak out, and it's just, you know, at this point we just got to keep going hard. I think that with our case, with me and Chris's case, the Attorney General of New York's case against Amazon, I think that's going to be very big, and us winning the union here, I think that's going to start some change, or at least start the conversation, because we showed and proved that, you know, organizing on the inside is really, really effective. And I just feel like once we motivate other workers to speak out, everyone's going to give in eventually. That's what I'm hoping for.
And can you kind of give the audience a little insight into what's going on in there now? Because I'm getting updates every day, just screenshots being sent to me, you know, text messages you guys are getting. You have a COVID positive here, you have a COVID positive here, you have a COVID positive here. Yeah. Lots of COVID positive alerts. I've also been told that they technically have a mask thing where you're supposed to wear a mask, but people aren't really enforcing it. So you got a new variant that seems to be a lot more infectious. We don't know yet whether it's more deadly, but we know it's you know, easier to spread. Yet it seems like the safety protocols in there are not exactly so tight.
Yeah, and you mentioned the safety protocols aren't being followed, and that's not just the tier ones. We're talking about management as well. You know, they're walking around here with their mask below their nose, below their mouth at certain times, you know, to gather up with workers, and they're all in each other's faces all day. And, you know, it's just crazy. Like, how can you try to implement rules but don't follow them? And, you know, no one is saying anything about it because I feel like everyone's scared to speak out. But that's not the case with us. You know, everything that's been going on, you know, eventually will get exposed. You know, I'm not going to be quiet about it because I'm not going to sit around and act like, you know, my safety is something to play around with, because it's not, and no one else should either. So, yeah.
My last question, you know, I've covered a lot of stuff. It's you know, as a reporter, it's not always easy to get people on the record, but I've never had such a challenge as I have with Amazon workers. Workers, I don't think people truly understand this. I have spoken with so many workers off the record, and the stories they have told me are horrifying. I mean, literally, I could probably win an award on some of these stories if I was allowed to report it. I don't care about awards, but you get the point. Some of this stuff is so beyond the pale, including Amazon. I don't want to get too into it because it was off the record, but Amazon literally, a worker was badly injured and Amazon chose not to call for help. But they won't go. I mean, a lot of these workers are terrified to speak to the media, to go public, to even tell anyone about incidents, because a lot of them are younger, or they might not have finished high school, or whatever the case may be. There seems to be a real culture of fear. The union is trying to break that. You workers are trying to break that. But there's so many workers who are deathly afraid of speaking up because of the culture here that if you speak up, gone.
Yeah, and that's one of the challenges that we face. You know, just speaking with workers about the ALU and getting them to sign an authorization card, automatically they feel like they'll be fired, one, or two, have to pay a fee, which isn't true. So just really, that's something that we have to get over. You know, it's a huge mountain to climb, but it's nothing we can't win, because we've already proven that we can get thousands of people to support us. You know, it's been a challenge getting over the captive audience meetings.
Those are basically the union busting meetings.
Yeah, the union busting meetings, and you know, I've been in actually 2 of them, and of course I'm able to challenge the union busting. All they claim they're facts, but they're clearly not facts about the union, and you know, that's good and all, but on a large scale, if everyone, you know, 5,000 plus workers are going into these meetings, eventually someone's going to get their opinion swayed. As if someone, you know, actually supported ALU, they're going to think twice. And that's what Amazon's trying to distill in workers, because that's what they do. You know, mentally, they have workers on lockdown. All right. And it's our job to free them. And that's what we're doing.